Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, good morning, wherever you guys are at. It's your boy Goke Taiwo, Comlag, Tiger House C89. Thank you very much for watching our show, subscribing, commenting. We really appreciate it. Today we have a distinguished guest for one of us and also a first responder. So we will thank her for her services during this time that we have in COVID and her, accommodating and helping people who are sick and stuff like that. It's always good to have a superhero with us, a real life superhero. So yeah, thank you very much for joining our show, and I'll pass it to my co-host, Ifedapo Olowe.
Good evening, everyone. This is Ifedapo Olowe, C88 Command Secondary School, Ipaja, Lagos, flying us house. I have my sister in the house, from the same house, flying us on arguably the best house ever. When I call Stallion, so I hear. Miss Kennedy Akala, like Goki rightly mentioned, she is a first responder. She's 87 set, Command Secondary School, Ipaja, Lagos. So I'm going to turn it over to Kenny to please introduce yourself and tell us what you do. Over to you, Kenny.
Right. I'm Kende Akala Aino. My name is Aino. And I've been in England for about 30 years now. I finished in 87. I'm 87 set. And I was in Flying Horse House. So after my A levels, I came to England, and then I went straight to my nursing training. So I'm actually a nurse by profession. Although along the line, I was interested in the legal and ethical aspects of nursing. So with that curiosity, I studied law and got my LLB as well. So although I still practice as a nurse full time. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
So we're going to make it very, very simple. Really, the platform is to share your experiences in command. I'll share with us how command has been molded, because you're very successful in your personal life, your career. What impact did command have on you? And what experience did you have in command that you can share with us?
Right. The first thing I'll say is discipline. When I was in command, everything was regulated. Time we woke up, timekeeping, everything had to be regulated, except if you don't keep to time, you get in trouble. And there was a lot of discipline. So obviously that has really helped me, in my life, even trying to incorporate that into my family life as well with my kids. Even my son, he's 15, he joined the cadet and he loves it. He's in the cadet. So
in his school in England?
My son?
It's in England, yeah.
In the cadet in the school in the UK, right?
Yes, okay. In a school in the UK, but he goes for cadet like once a week, but since the pandemic they haven't resumed yet. So I try to instill the same discipline with my children as well. But I know sometimes you can spoil them, but still, yeah. So I would say it was really the discipline that I really got a lot of that from command, yeah.
Wow, so how did that translate into your career right now?
Right. Although my mom was a nurse, she passed on like almost 3 years ago now. So, but even though she was a nurse, I never knew that I would be a nurse. I always thought about, I'm going to be a lawyer, but But when we came to join my mother in England, so it was like, it seems like a good career. And I've always loved children as well. So I just decided after my mom spoke to us that, it would be a nice career move, and you can always do something else later. So I just decided that I will go into nursing. And so I'll say from my experience in command, it made me focus with my studies, and discipline, really. Yes. So
Right. So
Question: Are any of your other siblings in the medical field too?
no, no.
Or just you? So you're the only one that listened to your mom when she gave the career advice.
no, the mom just walked off on that. So I got a question about your son, and it's nothing personal. So, being a cadet, so your son being a cadet at 15, would you rather have him been in command right now as a cadet as a student in Combat Secondary School,
Definitely.
Lagos?
Definitely, I would have loved him to go to command. I thought about it, but I'm not sure it's the same command we had over like 30 years ago. So I may not want him to go to command right now, but it was
Mhm.
my wish. Yeah. And he would love to go to a military school as well. There are some in England, so we're kind of aiming for A levels for him to go to military school and do his A levels there. Yeah.
Wow. So he's in a boarding
And
school,
I think that
right?
is from the command, the fact that I even
Exactly.
regret, I wish that I actually gone into nursing via the army, Sometimes when I
Wow.
think
In
about
England.
it, but I just never thought about it, that young, but it would have been nice to have done that. Yeah.
Mhm. Mm. So I have a question for you. So can you remember the first day they drop you off at command at the gates? How was your experience if you go back, 30 something years ago, like 36, 37, something?
Um, right. That's a very long time ago, over 33 years ago, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember being dropped, yeah, and feeling, oh my gosh, because we've never been away from home before. But
Mhm.
obviously, when we settled in, you make friends, you've got school
Mhm.
mothers, so
Mhm.
it kind of worked out well. Yeah. Although there was homesickness, but it wasn't that bad. Yes.
Oh, okay. And how about because you're a twin, right? So you and your twin were both you brought to command together, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys
Okay.
adjusted
So
pretty well in your junior years.
Sorry?
I said you guys adjusted pretty well in your junior years before you became seniors.
Sorry, I didn't. I'm sorry.
I said, did you adjust quickly when you were juniors in your junior years before you
We
evolved to
did,
become
but
seniors?
my twin, I don't think she really
Mm-hmm.
liked being in a boarding school that much. Apparently, she was
Gotcha.
telling me that when we went home on holiday, she always wrote a letter to my dad that please get
Mm-hmm.
us out of here, get us out
wow.
of here. But I didn't know about it until recently. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
So
So she was feeling homesick.
She was feeling homesick, and I think sometimes the discipline was rather very harsh. So I think,
Okay.
and sometimes you're targeted by your seniors, given extra punishment by
Mm-hmm.
your seniors, So Some people didn't really find it very easy, really.
Right. So what
Is she still traumatized by the experience?
Sorry? Pardon?
So what house was she?
No, he was asking.
She was in Octopus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was saying is she still traumatized by the experience?
I wouldn't say she's still traumatized. I wouldn't say that.
Okay. Because I know
she has vivid memories, about what she's been through.
Right.
I guess it's for her to talk about.
Okay, so why would you share some of your memories?
I remember obviously the classrooms, us going for our studies, waking up very early, having to make our bed, and sometimes we have inspection. So can you imagine, like, you wash the bathrooms and the toilets, and then you can't have your bath in there. You have to have your bath on the lawn.
Yeah.
Outside where, and then they count 1 to 10 for you.
Yeah.
With cold water, you have your bath with cold water. They count up to 1 to 10 for you. Quickly have your bath. So I remember going to the dining hall, and and if you're late to the dining hall, you get punished. Right. I remember cross country running. Yes. So that was pretty tough. We cross country running. I remember inter-house sports very well. I took part in handball. I loved handball. I think I did a bit of running, but I wasn't that good. But with the handball, I was good. Yeah. What else about?
What about the teachers? Anybody punished you or your seniors? Any experiences? No, I mean, calling no names. Did anybody ever torture you?
Yes, I remember one vividly. I can't remember. I think we were still in the dormitory, and we hadn't gone out, and they found us in the dormitory, and we were told to go to like a guard room. It was a room, and they locked us in. They poured water on the floor, so you couldn't sit down. That was like really tough at that time. I remember crawling with my knees, like the meal time. If you don't accidentally stepped on. Okay, sorry. I remember if you don't get to the dining hall on time, we were made to crawl from our dormitory to the dining hall, and your knees are like bleeding and all that. So it was tough. It was tough.
Was that by seniors or by the soldiers or teachers? Is that by?
I think it was seniors.
By seniors. But the guard room was by a teacher or a soldier. Yeah.
Okay, so did you do anything crazy yourself?
No.
Did you stay out of school?
Sorry?
Did you stay out of school?
No, I never. I was.
Did you? Really?
Thank God I was in the group of going to church, going to fellowship. So, so I was in that group.
She was the sister SU, only the down.
SU born again.
I will tell you why. I will tell you why, because my older sister, who is 9 years older, when she was at University of Ibadan doing her degree, she got born again. So, and we're still young. So she prayed with us. She converted us to, Christians. So by the time we went to command, we were already Christians.
Right.
So we didn't do anything.
Wow. So
well, I'm not praising myself. I wasn't perfect, but we didn't do anything that crazy.
Of course. So
Yeah.
you didn't read the Daniel.
So
That's what I do. You didn't read the Daniel.
No.
This one was a good girl for school. She was a good girl. Good kid. Wow.
You didn't go to space. You didn't go to space. You didn't go to space either.
When they told you didn't go to space. Okay. Game over.
You mean the dining hall? Is that what you think?
Yes, is that the way boys go to some of those experiences you had? Who will you say had an impression on you? Classmate, teacher, senior, good or bad?
Right. I did have close friends. Martha was one of my closest friends. And Kemi Adedeji was one of my closest friends. So so we just kept ourselves to ourselves most times. Victoria Day was in my house, and some other girls at that time. Teachers wise, I remember Mrs. Adegoke. She was our biology teacher.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm still in touch with her till today. We were in England at the same time. Yeah. So she's still here, and I did food and nutrition. So Mrs. The food and nutrition light. I can't remember her name. Yeah. So Oladiton, I think Mrs. Oladiton. Yeah. So they all had positive impacts in my life. Our commandant was great. I don't think your set knew the commandant. Our commandant was Colonel Lawal. Yeah.
Wait. I'm a too. How do you sound Lawal? Lawal. He's 89. Go is 89. We all knew Lawal.
Okay.
Colonel Lawal started with my set. My set came in from one when Colonel Lawal became commandant.
Yep, I remember. Because it came after Ajayi.
Yes.
So my set never met.
So they all had positive impacts in our lives. Yeah.
How about the RSM? Did the RSM have an impact in your life with Iskoboko?
I did suffer under his hands, but I can't really remember much about him. Yeah, I can't remember, but I remember the.
That means you didn't really flog your lot.
Going into the guard room, I think it must have been him. Yeah, at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So
do you reminisce about it with your kids? You tell your kids about your experiences once in a while, especially since your son is in the cadet in England. Do you tell them about your experiences when you're in command?
Sometimes I do, but not all the time. Yeah, sometimes I.
Just a message from Martha here. Of course, I know my mother was a nurse, and she actually had her own private practice for many years after she retired from General Hospital Ikeja. So, in this this pandemic, how have you been able to stay safe? It's good to have a commando actually in the, like Goke said, in the first line of action, being an essential worker. We're proud of you to be a commando represented. So how do you stay safe, keep your family safe with all this going on around you, and you have to go to work every day?
Yeah, during the pandemic, that was very hard on me. In terms of I was very anxious. I've got 2 children, and my husband is in Nigeria. So having to go to work because some of my friends were shielding from their family. So I couldn't shield from my children, I have to look after them. So that period was very tough for me, but I kept praying. And apart from praying, I was using, what they were recommending, like the vitamin D, and I was making some concussion drinks, like, the apple cider, ginger, lemon. I make it as a drink. I take it to work. Instead of drinking water, I just drink that. But I was, all credit, I tell you, goes to God. Yeah. Because obviously we did have some contacts, with patients that had it, but we had the PPE, so we protected ourselves, wore the whole PPE, gowned up, washed our hands all the time, sanitize. But I tried as much as possible not to let anxiety get a hold of me. Unfortunately, I lost one of my colleagues, not on my unit, but a different ward, she was a dear friend, yeah. And when I heard, I was like really devastated, and that made me more anxious, but I just continue to trust in God. I remember towards the end of the pandemic, we had to have blood tests, all of us on the unit. And then, although I wasn't particularly anxious about the blood test, but I did it. Then within the same day or the following day, I got my results, and it was like negative. I was posting the result. They texted the result. I posted it to my family members and said, "Oh, I just give thanks to God," because during the pandemic, I was mainly the only one going out in my area. The roads were all free all the time. I had to go shopping for my elderly dad. My dad lives not far from me. He's about 87. And then, I was just the one out there, doing everything, but despite the fact that I was exposing myself in the hospital, exposing myself in the shops, but I just put my faith in God, because my children, I can't tell my children not to come into my room. I have to cook for them. And but we thank God. We will continue to give thanks to God, really. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for your services. Please stay very safe out there, please. We still need you around.
Thank you for the services. We really appreciate it. Yeah.
Amen.
We appreciate firsthand.
When I had families and friends very concerned about me and praying for me. It really,
right.
Families and friends were there praying for me, calling me up, and everything. Yeah.
So, what were you just because people are going to be listening to you right now as a professional in that field, because of this, we're talking about a pandemic. What words of advice do you have for folks generally?
Especially since a lot of the rate of the coronavirus is rising.
It's actually spiking, even in the UK. So
spiking up, yeah, because of the weather.
Maybe.
Yeah, the flu season. Even now, they're advising us, because I did take the flu vaccine last year, and I've already gotten an email that they would expect us to take it this year again. So basically, I will encourage everyone out there to follow the government guideline, about the social distancing, minimize your going out, always wash your hands. Hand hygiene is very important. And when you're out, hand sanitizer. It's really difficult to do social distancing in the shops because people just brush through you, but always have your mask on. Just to be careful generally, and most importantly, to pray, because at the end of the day, is God that will continue to protect us all. So the most important thing, just keep to the government's guideline. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we'd like to. We're thankful for you. First of all, for saving lives and being the first responder. And thank you for giving us your experiences in command. I know you're very shy to come on, but you see, it was easy. We actually just simple questions. So
she's doing great.
But thank you.
She's doing great. For God's sake.
You did very great. So thank you for coming on, even though you were shy and all that kind of thing. But it was good, get your perspective on that, and also recollecting your time memory lane back in when you went to command, and also talking about those who impacted you, both your classmates and your teachers, and to where you are today, and also your mom paving the way in regards to your career field to be a nurse today and stuff. So it's good learning about our commandos, life after command, on what they've done, And are you active on your 87 sets and paying your dues? Because our president said I should be asking that question to encourage people to pay national dues too and stuff. So I'm just following orders. She's 5 years my senior.
Yes. Yeah, I am active. I'm reasonably active. On 87, yeah, and I try my best to adhere to all the rules or what is expected of us. Yes, yeah.
I mean, if I could chime in, I was there at the black tie event in London 2 years ago, and I know you and your sister were kind of involved. And it was good. It was good planning. I saw you guys for the first time since command.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember.
It's nice to you. I don't think we spoke to each other, but I saw you, and I think you're still on my video clips.
And I was here. I was just dancing away. You know what I'm saying? So it was fun though. So I knew you guys were kind of involved in those activities. But I want to thank you again for everything you do, for command, for your career, civil lives, especially during this pandemic. Okay, you have anything else before we wrap this up?
Oh, just thank you, Rep Shady. It's a pleasure meeting you. I don't remember you from command because you were 2 years ahead of me. So when I was in
and she was quiet. She was an issue now. You couldn't.
Yeah, so definitely. I would not know. You're not a tiger. I was like, I know some seniors from Tiger, from females.
I
know Dragon House is like a really popular house as
well.
Bad boys. Dragon House had bad boys and stuff. Daring boys.
I mean, I knew Kenny from a distance. Go in the same house. So.
Oh, okay. I don't remember you.
Wow.
I did. I couldn't. They don't bomb with me. I talked to her that time. So.
I don't remember. Even I don't remember people that were in my set as well. I don't remember a lot of people in my set, but it's really nice reconnecting. I think I reconnected with my classmates 4 years ago in 2016, and we had a 30 years reunion as well. That was 2017. And guess what? I traveled to Nigeria for the first time in history.
Really?
I've not been to Nigeria. Well, when I say first time, since coming here,
In 30 years.
Sorry?
In about 30 years.
I would say at that time it was like 28. I just made it. I just decided I have to go for the reunion, and I only went for 5 days, and I came back, and I'm hoping to go back again. I would love to go back again. Yeah,
it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. And I went to command for the first time as well, and I was hoping that it will be a really posh place, but there's still a lot of things to be done there, and I pray that God will help the school, and they'll be able to lift up the standard of the school and everything, really.
I know, because I know your set donated the what's it called for your 30th
pavilion, the pavilion, I think.
Yeah.
And also I think the basketball court or something like that.
Okay, so you did that too. Okay, that's good. Yeah, because I think I saw it dedicated by 87 set when I was in command for the pavilion. Yeah, it was cool. I was there last year, so we rocked the pavilion. 89 sets rocked the pavilion when we were there. So
did you go to Nigeria? You went to
so
Nigeria?
my set, we celebrated our 30 years in 89. 30
years. Okay, you are 89.
Yes.
Yeah, 89 set.
Ife is 88.
Yeah, but I was there last year.
That's why I celebrate to them. Yeah, that's why I said I don't remember you, because I was in Form 3 when you were in Form 5, so I don't remember you. You were 2 years my senior, so I don't
I were not in the same house anyway, so
yeah, so that's another thing. That's why I can't definitely remember you and stuff. So, but yeah, your set did a lot, and I have some like Tunio Yadiro, who is 87, is my very good friend. We talk.
Okay, was it your house?
Yeah, it was in my house, but I actually knew him because I knew him outside of command too. You understand? His uncle that he stayed with is my dad's. They were in the same military corps together, so I kind of knew him. Then, who else in your set too? I just mentioned.
Antonio Sefiu, Shola Olabi.
Wow.
Yeah. So that So what's his name? Bayo Lawal. I know Bayo Lawal too, and sometimes we talk. He lives in the US.
Yeah, it was in my house.
Yeah, he was in Chicago. It was your husband. I knew him. He was my friend. We were cool. Even though I know a lot of people didn't like him, but he was cool with me. I know a lot of people didn't really like him, but with me he was cool. And I knew. And after command, I used to see him. So and when I was in the US, when he moved here and I came here, we talked sometimes. So he was always cool with me. So so some 87 set people were cool. Some not so.
Okay. All right. So what will this kind?
Okay, thank you very much. It was a pleasure having Kennedy Akala here on our show. Thank you very much, 87 at Flyers House. Thank you for sharing your experiences while your commandos impacted you and your life today, and also you being a first line worker saving lives. So thank you being a superhero, commando superhero. We appreciate you. I would like to always appreciate our viewers for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe and share with other folks so that and keep bringing fellow commandos over here to share their experience. So thank you very much. So,
thank you.
Thanks again for your invites. Okay, for accepting our invites. We will bring you back in the future to share more lights on, especially the pandemic. Okay. It's good to hear from fellow commandos. Thanks again. Remember, share, like, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
have your sister come on. Hopefully, when we publish this, you have like maybe we can do our first set of twins come on to the show.
Yeah, we'll bring you back. We'll show your sister.
You've got another set of twins. You've got another set of. Are they in 88 set? The other set of twins. There's another set of twins in 88 set.
There are a few. There have been a few in command. We know a lot in command, so I probably can pull them up.
Okay, nice chatting.
Thank you very much.
Okay, take care. God bless.
All right.
Bye.